So I had a little kerfuffle this morning, and I'm laughing about it because I care. And my little kerfuffle that I had this morning, I need to drink me some tea. My little kerfuffle, you know, the you know, she called back. She was like, I'm sorry for flipping out on you. And the reason why I'm laughing about it, because I was just like, listen, I don't do nigga bitch logics. I don't do nigga bitch logic. I'm not gonna sit here and I don't know these people. I just don't do nigga bitch logics. I need you to understand something. Like I sat here. I had a lot to talk about because I had this live set up since like 3 in the morning, and I never put start the live. I just rolled over and took my ass to sleep. It was a few things. Okay, that's why I'm glad I put the title in. Dark side of these YouTube celebrities, because I wouldn't have remembered that. What did I want to talk about? Oh, okay. I have been telling y'all for a long time, okay, that most people online are very fucked up. That online people are the thrown away people in their families, the unwanted people in their families, the embarrassed people in the family, the shamed people in their family. A lot of online people are the ones who don't fuck with their family. A lot of online people were the people who are on the party line first, because I told y'all the party line story. Understand something, everybody. I know a lot of you hate social media. A lot of you hate it. A lot of you despise the fact, especially you Gen Xers and Boomers, y'all despise the fact that what was in your house is not staying in your house, that it's outside now. That y'all despise the fact that we live in a world that is actually social, that's actually socially expressing a lot of things, whether you like the way they express it or they don't. I get it. But someone like me, I actually enjoy it. I actually enjoy it because you know why? Because I always knew people wasn't shit. Oh, I always knew people was in shit. I always knew people were scammers and liars and got control issues, got sexual deviance behind the doors, were abusive to their children and family members. I always knew this about y'all. And the thing about it is that I also always known that there is that high life and the level of high life that I got to experience because I'm an artist. So I like to sip wine and go to a rooftop party and go to a museum, sip my wine and enjoy the art. You know what I'm saying? And I like to go to, architecture events, interior design events. That's high for me because that is what my heart is into, right? And I've experienced low. And oh, have I experienced low. All right. So, because of that, I know how to separate the two. I'm also an alternative Black woman. Let me make this clear. I am an alternative Black woman. I am the original Don Dada of where divestment come from. Okay, we are that. If anybody first divested from that goddamn community, it was us. Okay? Let's keep that motherfucking clear. Let's make that motherfucking clear. If any of us did not want to fuck with any of you, it was first us. Before we even had the word divestment or whatever the fuck it was. Now, I had a situation where I just went out the other day. But anyway, We don't need to talk about that. Let's get back to the dark side of these YouTube celebrities, because now I got to go motherfuck smoky smoke. Okay, so number one, let me make this clear. Number one, I was sitting around here and I listened to a lot of different things. And people are interesting. People have become characters to me. They're not even real, you know? And it's so funny because I'm learning about, learning that a character is not a person, right? And that a person is a person. But yet people get upset about characters on TV shows, though the characters just move the story. It's not so much about a person, right? And I know that's very, very conflicted for everybody in the world who are not writers and screenwriters, or who's in that world of understanding that level of artistry. But characters are characters. They are the storyline. They move the story. And then you have people, right? You sit here and you have to start. I think the number one thing is people have to start being able to identify this word that y'all do not like. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat. It's this word right here. Y'all have to be able to identify that word right there across the screen. All right? Y'all have to be able to look at that word across the screen and know when you see that. And then you have to also understand something else. A lot of people online, and I'm being a real fucking serious when I tell you this. A lot of them are off. I want to say the word slow, but they're a little off. Something's off about people online. See, I've lived a life very young, taking care of myself and all kind of shit, right? For a very long time in my life, right? And one thing, I always had this awareness of things in a way that now that I've grown, I realize what kind of awareness I had. I just always noticed people who had a certain body type, who behaved a certain way, who walked a certain way. Walking is a big thing for me. How you walk tells me a lot about your personality. People who walk a certain way have a certain personality. If I just don't like the way you walk, that means it's something connected to your personality that I'm not going to like. People who just certain little things about people that I have always come to notice since a young girl living in that big city. And I sit here and it hasn't changed. I've just become more wise to understand and observe what I've been looking at. And when I would go to Barnes and Nobles, I would read books on these things when I was a teenager as well. So I always had an eye of observation and analysis of everything. And I just think it's interesting that my child is majoring in data analysis. I was just like, this girl has it honest. Damn, she has it honest, And so let me sit up for this because I'm laying. Let me sit my ass up for this. All right. So these little things that I would that I would notice, right? But I also notice the people who get extremely upset with these people, because there's a lot of you. Y'all get very upset with these people. Okay. And what y'all gonna have to realize, I'm starting to realize something about the people who get upset with them. It's either one, there's an underlying jealousy going on there. And number two, because I'm going to stand on that, there's an underlying jealousy going on there. And number two, they themselves may not really know people to the capacity of understanding people. Okay? They may not really know people. Do you get what I'm saying? And so therefore, that's why those kind of people, take the things that some of these people online say and do very, very personal. Here's another thing that I think that I see a lot. You sit here and you see somebody online. But see, this is another thing that must be talked about. You see somebody online and they got their nice little setting and they got their nice little, podcast set up and everything and all of that. They're very professional. Some people, you never know. They went to school for journalism and film. Some people, you never know. You never know. Maybe they work for something. You never know. But they know how to do it right. They know how to do it good. They know how to set it up. They know how to talk about things. Here is something that I had to learn in life. Okay? As a young person who first started out doing what I was doing. Intellectual people, truly intellectual people, do not sit around and want to gossip all day. Truly intellectual people. Intellectual people are always doing just that. They're intellectualizing everything that we talk about, everything that we experience, everything that we see. We always reference a book. Okay? All these things, right? And if we don't know nothing about something, if we're not about that life, we stay in our lane. We be like, yo, I don't know shit about this, bro. I ain't about this life, whatever this is. We stay in our lane. We can admit to our experiences and our inexperiences. We can admit to that. And we don't sit around here as if we know it all and we've been through it all. Unless we know we've been through it. Because at 40, I'll be like, damn, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. I experienced a lot. I experienced a lot more of that city than I think I did. And all these different things in the way I live my life. But I also understand and see the different generational aspects of these things as well. You got to understand a lot. Anybody, let me put it like this, because I had to put it like this without saying no names. As someone who would shuffle my cards and shit, right? I never wanted to do celebrities. Why? Because anybody who knows me, I actually do have celebrities in my family. I have people in it. I don't say the word celebrity, but I have people in the industry in my family. And I'll be heartbroken if anybody was to do a shuffle and they will motherfucking do something on one of my family members. Okay? And so I would notice that you'll have these readers and they will always read into celebrities and shuffle on them and really say they real what they think their real name is and shuffle on them and shit. And I will watch because that's what I do. After a while, I sit back and I watch because I get curious. Like, once that spider's sense start tingling, I'll be like, all right, let me watch this shit. Then what happens? The bitch started talking. Start admitting how jealous she used to be, how she used to be so jealous of people. I'm like, bitch, you are jealous. And prior to that, years before that, I saw a video she did about the way people dress. And I saw a woman in a banging ass motherfucking outfit because she had the body for it and she was inside of the club with the outfit. She was inside somewhere with the outfit. And I said, damn, bitch, because see, I got a lot of bitches in my family that got nice ass bodies and pretty ass faces, and that's no exaggeration. And they love to get fly, love to get motherfucking fly and dressed up all day, every motherfucking day because we from Queens. That's what we do. And put our shades on. That's what we do. And because of that, like I said, that's what happened. Now, that's when I knew that she was jealous. I said, okay, this bitch jealous, and more than likely she is overweight. I was right about all of it. Okay. People can be more evil and wicked online and express themselves and be themselves in all of these things. And a lot of y'all are just y'all late to the party. Y'all just catching on and y'all just catching up and y'all can't handle it. And that's why y'all want TikTok to shut down. Y'all want social media to shut down. When y'all fail to realize that the whole purpose of all of this was for socializing, connecting, businesses to build, people to connect with people as themselves. That was the whole purpose of social media, as well as the biggest one is a social experiment. We've been saying that for us that was on the party line. We was like, this is a social experiment. They have to be studying us on this party line. They have to be listening. We were saying that for fucking years. And now it's all out there. There was forums and places that you cannot to this day get into. You have to meet a certain requirement to be a part of their forums or their spaces. It is still like that. Facebook was one of them. I don't got to get into the history of Facebook. We all know once Facebook made it public, it was bullshit after. Then you have people who create their movements. Then you have people who end up, I'm going to just tell y'all what it is. Gen X is a very childish generation of people. I don't care how mature, how much they got a nice house, how much they got a nice car, how much they got a nice career, job, they clock in every day. They are a very childish generation of people. And the children who are born from them, which are your Gen Zs, not millennials. Most of the time, unfortunately, millennials are the siblings of the Gen Xers or the children of the Gen Xers. And this is why things is what they are. That's why it's Gen Z, and that's why they're Gen X. Pay attention to that. And that's why millennial children are called Gen Alpha. There's a reason for that. And what I'm saying is, what's happening is that Gen X people have more of a battle to fight because Gen X people come from what that term ghetto is, right? They come from that term of what ghetto is. They come from the term, they know what all that ghetto life is because that's what was programmed into them to believe that they were what ghetto came from. Then we have the different regions, north, south, east, west, they all the same no matter what generation they come from. We got all kind of shit, the porn, the sexual deviants, the serial killers. Actually, the serial killers, they actually more so came out in the 80s, but they were out there. You know, they were doing their shit in the 70s. They got caught in the 80s time or whatever. We got all of this stuff going on in their generation. Then they was raised by boomers, and we don't have to get into the boomer generation. And then they were made to be children at a very early age. And this is why a lot of them made to be adults at very early. That's why they, when they grown, you know, it's like they're so exaggerating about being grown, but then they're so childish at the same time. That's the conflict with them. And most of your people who are going back and forth online on this beef and shit, on this stabbing each other in the back shit, are Gen X bitches. There is no boundary with them. They have no boundaries. Okay? They're always in your face. They're always trying to mentor you and shit. They always give unsolicited advice and all kind of shit like that. They are always fucking sick and fucked up and all kind of shit. We can go on and on and on. A lot of them ain't even making it to 50. But they're all Gen Xers. It is the Gen X who is sitting here with this whole rhetoric about the last should be first and the first should be last bullshit. They keep saying that shit, and we know for sure that shit ain't happening. So what does this have to do with the dark side of these YouTube celebrities? Most of your big name YouTube celebrities are Gen Xers. Are the children from Gen Xers. Most people that let me just show something, okay? Because I want to address something here. Does it sound like I'm all over the place? And T is about to call my ass, but she ain't calling me. I ain't gonna get no call till hours later. But we get back to this show. Why do we have situations like this? Okay, I didn't address this, and I didn't address it with reason, because when I heard her talking, I don't know where the fuck this is at. Okay. Woman accused. I'm going to get into the woman accused of killing her manager at McDonald's. Okay. And she stabbed at her face 15 times. Okay. Let's get into this. I'm going to go ahead. I want to show this still image. No, I'm going to just show these images right here. And we're going to talk about why this is going on and why you need to see this going on. Okay. I'm going to tell you why you need to see this going on. I'm going to keep telling y'all Okay, I'm gonna keep telling y'all. This shit makes me happy to see. Not that I'm happy to see this woman die. I didn't say that. I'm happy for y'all to see how fucked up people online are. And I'm gonna tell you why I say this. Being online, right? It was times where I remember I would take a break. Like I literally would take a break away from being online. And there would be a certain person who's just very in competition, just very, very in competition. Gen Xer, being transparent here. There were times that I enjoyed going outside and living life besides being online. And I'm going to tell you the truth. When I was going through the worst in my life was when I was online the most. When I was going through the worst in my life is when I was online the most. I need you to know that, okay? I even had times, I don't know why I did it. And I do. I had to prove something to myself, right? And so I got on this app and I was minding my business, get on there and speak. And I let people convince me to get up there and be back online again and show my face and stuff and speak again. But even at that time, something in me wanted to just break away. But I was so fixated on wanting to do a show, wanting to see the vision through, not realizing that I was holding on to something from when I was 19 years old. I just want you to hear me out, right? And that's what I was doing. I was holding on to something since I was 19 years old. And okay, it took me, like I said, it took time for me to come to this recognition. And so this was being reflected in my life through this one other hostess and all this. It's so dumb now when I think. It's just so fucking dumb when I think about it. Right? And where I come, and when I start going to therapy, taking the meds, because actually I did start. That's the thing. That's what's so funny, because it was a white lady when I had one time went to therapy, the hospital for something with my finger or some shit. My hands were shaking real bad at my office job I had. She put me on antidepressants. And I could feel the difference in myself when I started taking those antidepressants, because that's the time I started taking antidepressants and I started taking the supplements for your mind. This is all in my between 28 to 33 mark, all between this year of my life. And I started taking these supplements and shit. And man, to this day I stand by that supplement. I plan to even buy some more. And so I started going out more. I started wanting to be active more. I wanted to play handball. I wanted to go to the beach. I wanted to walk the shorelines. I wanted to take the kids out to the beach more. I wanted to get up. I started taking action. I started shaking and moving a little bit more. I started moving. And the more I started moving in my life, I'll probably hop on a camera here and there and record myself doing something, or record myself walking, or record myself this, that, and the third, right? But here is where the fucked upness of it all begins to happen, and why the mental health has to be checked. Okay? The mental health has to be checked. It was one incident in my life where I had to realize subconsciously I didn't want to live anymore. I'm going to say it out loud. I tell this story. I didn't want to live anymore. That's how it got for me. And the reason you ever get that way is because you're not living in your truth. Trust me when I tell you that part. I'm going to tell you, I'm not trying to diagnose anything. Let me give fair warning. I'm speaking from my own inside of me experience. You're not living your truth. You're not living who you are, right? And sometimes people will be a catalyst. Okay? Got to pay attention. Sometimes people are just a catalyst in your life, and you got to learn how to identify the catalyst, because you are the main character in your life. So this person here, this person there, they serve a point for being there, and you have to understand what point these people serve in your life. And I went and got the help that I needed. Therapy, the meds. I talk about all the time. I took my meds for the past 3 years, no longer than that. I was on my meds for a good 3-4 years before I took myself off, before I was off of them. Okay. And so with that, what is happening is I want Black people, mainly who are the alternative ones, the ones who know that shit's fucked up and that people are fucked up. That this shit is all fucked up, right? The ones who are aware. I need y'all to understand that there is a deep programming in this world, right? But I have to only speak to what I know. Can't speak for nobody else. But I don't think the programming is deeper than what Black culture go through. Okay? Every other race, it goes back to what somebody once said to me, that Black people can't quit each other. And that always sat with me. And I said, no. There's some kind of deeper programming that Black culture is dealing with within itself. Not the programming outside of itself that's working its way in. It's the program within itself that's fucked up. And see, this programming that's within itself is the very reason why the Black male is about to be fucking destroyed. I know the divestors may not want to believe it, but when the women in the culture are being broken down, the men are going to get fucked up. In Black culture, it applies that way, because actually it goes that if the men are fucked up in the culture, then the women are open season. But that has already happened to the Black woman, correct? Therefore, the mammy is open season on that mammy. These situations like this are the signs and the symbols of what is to come. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I don't care how. I don't give a fuck. I stand on that. This is the signs and symbols of what's to fucking come. And what I'm telling you is, I should have called it. I'm going to do a segment for Black alternative women, because I know I think even the Black Woman's Guide, I that's who I was talking to the most. God damn it, that's who I talk to the most. That's who I always fucking talk to. Okay. Let me tell you something. And it goes like this. These mammies are going to get annihilated out here. They're already getting annihilated out here. Okay? They're getting annihilated out here. Humiliated. It's a humiliation ritual to these mammies right now. Okay? Not only is there humiliation rituals to the babies right now, they're getting in preparation with these military people and all of that coming into the neighborhood. And so what this nigga want to do? Oh, I have a video. I have a fucking video that somebody sent me. Is it still here or did they block me? Okay, let me go ahead and let me open this video. I want y'all to hear the voice of the hood and what this dusty nigga got to say. Okay. Because I thought this was important.
If you on government assistance, you don't have the same rights as a person that doesn't get any kind of government assistance, man. Them folk gonna pull them army tanks and pull them Humvees in front of O Block and in front of every housing projects, and they gonna go door to door. And if you don't live there, you going to jail, man. Them people are not gonna sit back and let these folks continue to take innocent people's lives. Innocent. A lot of people don't see the things that's going on in the world with these politicians, but the truth is coming out. These politicians fix the numbers when they come to the statistics of the crimes. In any assistant government homes like projects, Section A, you don't have no rights when it comes to who can enter your home if you on government assistance. You don't have the same rights as a person that doesn't get any kind of government assistance, man. Them folk gonna pull them army tanks and pull them Humvees in front of O Block and in front of every housing projects, and they gonna go door to door. And if you don't,
let me tell you something. It ain't just no housing projects. Okay? It's not just no. That's the obvious purge, right? That's the obvious. That's not what's happening here. Who do you think called to patrol these black neighborhoods? It is the black women who are tired. I need you to understand that. It is the black woman who is tired that called. It is the black woman, it's the black women who said enough is enough. I'm going to show you some videos. Hold on. Okay. All right, hold on. This is old. I'll get to this later. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna send y'all some videos. Okay, Charles, he said that let me put the black woman. We know Chicago definitely. These are women. These are women who are asking Trump, okay, to help them. You understand what I'm saying? Don't get this shit twisted. There are black women, okay? Let me tell you something. That are ready. That are ready. What they're doing is they have to get this fucking mammy out the way. See, this is what the black male, this is where he's stupid, right? This is where he's very dumb. See, he think I can chill. They attacking her. I'm good. That tells you a lot about his manhood, right? But that's not the case. If the mammy start going down, you next. Now, I know I done took this to another side. I do that because I have a point for why I talk about the things that I talk about in the way that I talk about them. And I be on point with what the fuck I be predicting out here, bro. Sometimes I'll be more on point than what I think I could be on point with this shit. But how does this attach to the dark side of these YouTube celebrities? I'm going to tell you how. A lot of times, people, let me give you a great example. Shonda Rhimes has built Shondaland. Shonda Rhimes has built a whole world that she made us a part of. Not once has Shonda ever acted in any of her films. I did the research. Not once have you seen Shonda, because I know if she was in any of her films, that shit would explode. She has recently passed her showrunner title to another woman who is a great match. She's going to recycle the nostalgia. She's going to bring the nostalgia of Grey's Anatomy, and I'm looking forward to that. Okay. I mean, that even though I watch episode 1 and pilot's over, because I look at it another way, but that's me. Shonda only appears if she's teaching and showing something. Shonda is going to be in Atlanta this month. She's going to be in Atlanta this month. And I could choose to go or stay. Matter of fact, is it this month or October? I think October she be here. Because I would have remembered. It's October she be here. And I could still choose if I want to go. Shonda's a very private person. If you see her on social media, she's mentioning something about books and writing and procrastinating as a writer. She's very raw and she's very honest. And she's never really on TV like that. For those of you who do not know who Shonda Rhimes is, let me motherfucking help you. Okay? Because that's crazy if you don't know who Shonda is. Okay? Let's just take this moment to give thanks. Okay? For all of the writers, screenwriters out there, you get it. All right? This is Shonda Rhimes. Let's just go ahead and give you her posh apartment. I could imagine how posh her apartment is. Shonda. But she don't put herself on that screen. She don't put herself on that TV. The more I have been living my life, the more I enjoy living life, the more I like to go out and actually connect with people when I want to connect with people and go out when I want to go out. The less I want to be on social media unless I'm reading and studying, watching something with purpose, checking an email. The older that I have become, matter of fact, even before then, I don't do no ranting shit. I don't do that. Because I'm the type, I would rant and I would throw that shit away. I don't do no ranting shit. That was my young days. That was my 20s. And for a long time, I was somebody who never showed my face. The worst thing I ever did on social media was when I showed my face. That was the worst thing I ever did. I always tell that story. When I was 30 years old, the worst thing I ever did was show my motherfucking face, because I had one signature ass picture that represent me, and you could barely even see me because it was the side of my face, and it was a hairstyle I didn't even have anymore. I didn't even have that hairstyle no more. My nigga. Then on top of that, the more she got too much going on. That's that vintage look. Too busy. Ooh, too busy. So, like I was saying, Shonda barely even smiled. Shonda is smiling now. That is beautiful. Shonda would not even smile. So, point is this. Going back to this. The more I live life, the less I want to be online, people. The more I learn about life, the more I live it, the less I want to be online. I tell y'all all the time that I have met the worst people online, the most broken people online. This is where they have gone for their therapy. This is where they have gone to be fucked up to people. This is where they are. Let me tell you something. They are fucked up to the people in their lives. They're so fucked up to them. This is not a place that you want to spend your time. Okay? This is not a place that you want to spend your time unless it holds purpose. And even with purpose, you still don't want to spend your time there. There are extreme stalkers, what you call weirdos, which I think most of y'all, all of y'all are to me. There are extremists, period, online. All of this shit. And this vote is a pure example of it. Let's hear him for a minute.
Now, we work very well with the police because we naturally get along with the police. So the police and us work really well together, whether the mayor is opposed or whether, I mean, you have a really rotten mayor there too. He's got a 6% approval rating in Chicago. And I see black women wearing a red MAGA hat last night on television. Please let the president come in. My son was attacked. You have a force of black women. They're like only Trump. Now, we work very well with the.
He's not lying. Somebody else somebody named Megan Kelly or something had a comment. Who is this? I know this name. It'll come to me.
We have a stop montage of the reaction from the actual people who are benefiting from the crime fighting. And I got dollars to donuts. The people of Chicago are going to feel the same as these folks I'm about to show you feel. So it's like one of those things, like they need it. I don't think he has the authority to do it, which makes the next move very interesting. In any event, here's some DC residents.
We need all the protection that we can get in the city because the city is really getting.
Caribbean woman. An older Caribbean woman. I can't make this shit up if I tried.
Dangerous. A person like me at this age, I has to make sure to come home before sundown.
I enjoy having extra security. I think it's a good thing. I mean, you want to feel safe when you're out and about, especially females.
It's a good thing because it actually reinforces the fact.
What did she say?
Out and about, especially females.
It's a good thing.
Having extra security. I think it's a good thing.
I like her top.
I mean, you want to feel safe when you're out and about, especially females.
It's a good thing because it actually reinforces the fact that America is secure, safe, stable as a.
See, even let me tell you something. I forgot about the faggots. I forgot about the faggots, girl. Even they want protection from these black males. Okay, they want it too.
Moderate as a centrist, I think something needs to be done. I have 3 kids. I'm about to start teaching next week. I want it to be safe.
I think this is long
I stand on what I said about him.
overdue. I've been one of the National Guards in this area for years. I like it. I love it. I feel safe already.
She says she been a National Guard. Thank you, ma'am, for serving this country. Thank you for your service. Okay? This is what I'm talking
She's
about.
been in power so long. I think she's kind of used to how things are going. And I think Donald Trump really wants to clean it up. And I'm all for it.
The crime is outrageous, and you do feel unsafe. I don't know, what's going to occur, whether it's going to be really beneficial for us or not, but
That's a nice neighborhood. I see a Whole Foods.
something needs to happen.
Every single one of those were Black people, for the listening audience, saying they welcome the Trump intervention there. And honestly, I have been on the south side of Chicago. I have met the mothers whose sons are getting killed in the streets every day. They would be thrilled to see more law enforcement there and something resembling a safe neighborhood for their children. We have a SOP montage.
Boom. So this right here isn't beautiful. Beautiful. What I to see. You know why? More Black women like that. That was a nice little handful. That was a handful of Black women that spoke. It don't even matter if they were Democrat, nothing. It don't even matter. None of that matters. Very well-spoken Black women. Okay, don't know none of them. Can't say what their lives are. But they kept it simple. They said, I feel safer. I want it to happen. How many other Black women didn't I just make it clear that it's Black women asking Trump to come over? Now, how does this tie into the programming in Black culture? It's so fucking sad. It's so fucking sad that there is such a programming in the culture that some of us feel we have to tiptoe around what we believe or what we feel, what we analyze, or what we know is best for the community. We have to tiptoe. Now, this is another problem because we have people like this who say things like this.
Today, we're talking about Trump's occupation of D.C. and the
She looks very young.
way that the National Guard is being deployed to militarize and surveil Black and brown residents.
Yeah, Trump has truly turned DC into a war zone and in the name of quote unquote public safety. Of course, we are the ones.
Let me tell you something. If I was walking outside right now, going shopping, even in this small town that I'm in, right? Going shopping, going to the gas station, different places like this, and I saw them, these officers right here. I'm talking about the two in the front and that one way in the back. If I saw those officers right there walking around, and I was even at night, if I saw them, I don't give a damn if I'm tipsy, I will be very happy to see them. Okay? I will be very happy to see them. I may not a few times when I see them in a slight smile because I don't speak to nobody, but I would, because of the safety I will feel in that moment, or the times that I will feel so much safer, because I always feel, and this is going to sound fucked up, and I'm going to say it out loud. Any neighborhood where there is too many niggas needs this. Something always feels anxiety, anxious, on the edge when they are around. Okay? It's to a point when I'm at work because I have to be a part at work, but I would not fuck with any of them outside of work. None of them. None of them. When I'm outside, I remember one time I went to the gas station. It was a bunch of niggas, dark-skinned ones with dreads, just a bunch of niggas. And if anything that begins to remind me of the city is like, oh, anxiety kicks in. I didn't even want to get out. Like, I spotted them later, but I remember I didn't want to get out the car. And it was another time, it was a bunch of niggas in the Jeep, and these were nigga bitches. And I was like, feeling that vibe, and I was like, are they about to break out and fight? I didn't even want to get out the car. And the thing is, that's so fucked up, especially as an intuitive person as myself. So I ain't wrong about what I'm feeling, because they do that. Niggas will literally ride out, meet somewhere, and fight like animals. They fight worse than animals. Have you ever seen animals fight in the wild? That's them. Like, man is crazy. And so when you sit here and you see this shit, and someone like myself, it's like, yo, I appreciate this type of service, or the military, or especially the military doing this. But I'd rather see the two in the front and that one way in the back behind them niggas. I'd rather see them. And that's real talk. Because if I see too many of them niggas in the middle right there, I'm going to even feel more afraid for my life even more. And that's just the reality. And that's a reality. See, that's a reality that Black women like me can speak out loud. The mammies don't sense that kind of danger. See, this is where the nigga bitch mind is so fucked up. Because see, the YouTube celebrities, a lot of nigga bitches. The nigga bitch mind is so fucked up. Because if she sees those two up in the front and way in the back, she's instantly in her mind going to say she feels more unsafe with them. But let me tell you something, nigga bitch. The two in the front and way in the back are more likely to not hurt you and be more likely to protect you from them in the middle. Because them two in the middle is highly unlikely to protect you. It's more likely to give you a harder time. It's more likely to be disrespectful to you, especially in that position of power. That's just the facts. I never crossed paths and had problems with a white police officer. When I was a young girl, I was young, you know. He wasn't going to hurt me or nothing when he realized I was a young girl. But at the same time, other than that, in my grown adult life, I ain't never had no problem with no police officer. But I'll tell you one thing, when that sand nigga wasn't giving me back my money that he know he ripped me off from, I didn't even see him behind me. And that white officer scared me. And he jumped and said, is there a problem? And let me fucking tell you, if I can go back, and if I was thinking at that time, I would have went to the white officers and said, can you walk me down the street? Because there's a nigga always begging me for money and he scares me. See, Black women don't know how to even admit that they're afraid of somebody. And I think that's the problem that gets Black people fucked up too. You have to be able to say you afraid. I know I done gained weight and I'm down to 100 and did I go down? I think I went down to 172 or something like that from 189. Okay, and shit, I don't even ask me how small I was before that. I'm still a woman. I'm still a small woman. That's still a very small woman. I don't have no thick bone mass or nothing like that. And even when I go out here and work out and get my muscles up and exercise, I'm still not stronger than a goddamn man. This is what I'm saying. So Black women showing your face and being like, yo, nah, we ain't with this. We don't agree with this. I put on a MAGA hat to show you that. I'm not going to hold you. Sometimes I want to wear a MAGA hat, but I can't because it will be, I mean, I haven't seen Trump do anything but against transgenders. I haven't seen him attack gays yet, but to me, it's like, yeah.
Ones who bear the blunt of that violence. For the last 2 weeks, tanks, soldiers, police officers have swarmed the streets of DC and all but shut down the city to enable folks to move throughout freely as they rightfully should under the Constitution. This shows a force that has escalated to insane heights, and we're going to talk about it. But first, let's get into the headlines.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot going on in DC. So my first headline is about Lisa Cook, a Black woman who's been serving on the board of governors for the Federal Reserve since 2022. She was appointed by Biden. President Trump is trying to fire her. And he doesn't really have the power to do that unless he can prove that she has been bad at her job. The justification he's giving is that she lied on some mortgage paperwork, which,
let me tell y'all a story. I've met nigga bitches like this in the walls of New York City projects. They scam, they lie, they gossip, they wear fucked up wigs, they got fucked up attitudes, they gossip, they got fucked up health motherfucking problems, they defend the undefendable. It's always some bullshit with their motherfucking sons who's a fucking fucked up mental degenerate. Do not get me motherfucking started on these type of nigga bitches. I just was not aware of the nigga bitch that I am aware of today. And let me tell you something. What comes with the nigga is a nigga bitch. What comes with the nigga is a nigga bitch, whether that's the form of his mama, his auntie, or any nigga bitch around him. And therefore, when you with that nigga, he gonna believe he gonna bring more nigga bitches around you because his mama is that nigga bitch. These are the things that I did not know and I did not know at the time in my life to have awareness of it. Now, let's continue.
At her job, the justification he's giving is that she lied on some mortgage paperwork, which not only feels really like a reach, but also is something they've done before. We've seen this with District Attorney Marilyn Cosby, I believe, and a few other prominent Black women that they come after. Stacey Abrams, like they come after them for really niche tax and mortgage paperwork when they can't find any dirt on them to get them out otherwise. Marilyn Mosby, forgive me. And so I'm really confused about what's going on with this. People are outraged. She has support from other Federal Reserve board members, and she's actually suing and saying, I'm not stepping down, and you're going to have to pull me out of there, drag me out of there, kicking and screaming. So it looks like this might go all the way to the Supreme Court. But, no
one's attacking Black women. Nigga bitches are getting attacked. Trump is not stupid, y'all. You think he don't know the difference? He saw his votes. He's listening. He listens to what the people are saying. Go listen to the show Dark Psychology of Donald Trump. He listens to what the people are saying. And mainly Black women. He has always listened to what Black women has said. When he first was in the office, he was listening to Black women. When he first was in office, he was listening to Black women. Another thing too with Donald Trump, he knows the difference. Okay? I had to repeat that on purpose.
A woman has been arrested for trying to kidnap and assassinate Donald Trump. The 50-year-old woman traveled from Indiana to Washington, D.C. while making death threats against the president. Natalie Rose Jones joined a protest outside the White House while posting extreme messages on Facebook. I am willing to sacrificially kill this POTUS by disemboweling him. Listen up, Donald J. Trump. I'm psychotic, she wrote online. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro now announced her arrest, saying,
She is now in custody. She will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Make no mistake about that.
Jones now faces 2 felony charges and could spend years in federal prison if convicted. A woman has been arrested for trying to kidnap and assassinate.
Got about crime. Meadow cracks open Trump's real motive in deploying the National Guard to D.C. Okay, this looks like, hold on, Trump's claims black women in Chicago. No, let's listen. Let's listen.
Now, we work very well with the police because we naturally get along with the police. So the police and us work really well together, whether the mayor is opposed or whether, I mean, you have a really rotten mayor there too. He's got a 6% approval rating in Chicago. And I see black women wearing a red MAGA hat last night on television. Please let the president come in. My son was attacked. I'm
going to tell you.
You have a
black MAGA women. I remember I was trying to look them up, but I could not find them. They might all be on TikTok. Let me go ahead. I know we don't like this right here. What announcement? Oh yeah, I think it's the let me see real quick. How long is this?
1789 until 1947, our nation won some of its greatest military victories under the direction of a Secretary of War operating within a Department of War. Today, with this executive order, you will authorize the current Secretary of Defense and the current Department of Defense to once again embrace this great lineage and once again be named the Secretary of War and the Department of War.
So this is something we thought long and hard about. We've been talking about it for months, Pete and I and Dan. Dan came into the fold. By the way, a great general. He headed up I wouldn't call it
I need y'all to understand something, black people. Y'all people, mammies, nigga bitches, and niggas, right? Okay, we need Trump to send National Guard to Chicago. Black woman goes against mayor and white liberals. Okay, let me listen to this first, and we go to the other lady. This is fair use.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need.
On his show.
With full business functionality.
Liberals in Chicago have the privilege of being able to
Yuppie Chicago white women oppose Trump National Guard.
say that we don't need the National Guard here in Chicago. They have the privilege of saying that because they keep themselves in their careful bubbles of Lincoln Park.
Oh, we saw this already.
Park. They stay up in some of the northern areas and they go and frolic at the beach, playing volleyball and pickleball and tennis.
See, this is something black women I want to say. Don't even get into all of that. They don't have to live around these niggas like we do. Whether we live in a decent neighborhood, because I think I live in a pretty decent neighborhood. It's quiet, it's very quiet over here. I just heard noises like yesterday night waking me from my sleep because it was some teenagers out there talking or playing or something. And I thought somebody was hurt because one of them said, I don't want to fight anymore. And I come to the window and I scared them off, So other than that, I don't, and unless it's kids running around with their noise, and that's it. But just when they are around, it's still like,
In these areas where it's clean, there's minimal crime. Of course, you feel like we don't need the National Guard because you've never stepped foot on the actual South and West Side. Elitist progressives and leftist white Chicagoans have the privilege of not needing the National Guard in order to feel safe in their communities. They walk out their door in the morning with their babies to go get a quick coffee and their kid on a scooter with a helmet. That's privilege. That's the same privilege that you claim you want to be a part of unpacking and getting away from. It's the yuppie white women in Chicago who want to scream about Trump being fascist, yet they keep themselves carefully, safely tucked away in Lincoln Park. Come to Woodlawn. And not the cute part. No, go past 63rd. Come to Auburn.
I think Black women, get more serious. And when you get serious, it don't mean you got to be angry. Y'all have a tendency to joke around a lot. So much that people like myself who are serious, when we get around y'all just so silly. Y'all got to stop being so silly.
Gresham. Chatham. Inglewood. Get on your scooter there. And
on Labor Day weekend or when the
Trust me, this all ties into your YouTube celebrities, love.
There have been a slew of polls that show that Donald Trump's takeover of Washington, D.C. has not been popular with the residents. However, when you look at the results and you look at actual people on the ground, you tend to get a bit of a different picture. And that's exactly what we see today with this man on the street interview with Cara Castronova. But before we get to these clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Here in the heart of Washington, D.C., I'm hitting the streets to talk directly to the people who actually live here, the ones who deal with the city's crime and chaos every single day. Do you feel like President Trump's initiative to send in more police could be helpful for D.C. residents that don't live in safe areas?
Yes, I do. And I'm very appreciative of what Trump is doing. And I think everything that he's doing is helping D.C. as well as America.
At this point in my life, I think I'd rather move to another state.
How come?
Well, I've been shot 4 times, attacked so many times. I'm tired of it.
You were shot 4 times?
Shot 4 times in my life, yeah.
So it was four separate times?
Since I moved to D.C.
Since you moved to D.C., you were shot 4 times?
Yeah.
Residents expressed frustration with wealthy liberals, progressive protesters, and Democrat politicians that continue to say that Washington, D.C. is safe.
They don't have to deal with the crime in the other areas. They have better stores, better
let me see the reaction to this little character over here, bro, with this nigga. Yo. Hey, yo. You see this nigga with these big ass goofy glasses and shit looking like Magoo.
At this point in my life, I think I'd rather move to another state.
How come?
Well, I've been shot 4 times, attacked so many times. I'm tired.
He blinked. Oh, shit.
I'm tired of it.
You were shot 4 times?
Shot 4 times in my life, yeah.
So it was four separate times?
Since I moved to D.C.
Since you moved to D.C., you were shot 4 times?
Yeah.
Residents expressed frustration with wealthy liberals, progressive protesters, and Democrat politicians that continue to say that Washington, D.C. is safe.
They don't have to deal with the crime in the other areas. They have better stores, better protection, police protection. This area right here, around here by Hecker Jamal, I wouldn't want my grandchildren to walk around here. They live in this area, not far.
So what's your message to President Trump if he sees this?
I love you and keep up the good work. And thank you for all of what you're doing. God bless you.
I just want the police to do what they can for our country, for our city of D.C.
The youth in D.C. need more governing. They need more policing, more programs. Put programs back in place.
Y'all keep talking about the youth.
Mind you, these are up north people. These, you know, that's still a northeastern state. That's the beginning of it, but these are up north people. Pay attention.
Where they going at? They don't got no rec centers. They don't got no playgrounds. They don't got nothing. They don't even got boxing teams no more. Or football
I know they got boxing is the answer. I used to be a boxer. I was a 2-time Golden Gloves champion. They don't have a boxing gym here. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm saying they got them, but it's not like it was when we was coming up.
Wait, when they had mentors.
Yeah, they don't have nothing out here for youth, period.
I did recently hear about the woman being thrown in the trash can down the street, like a few months ago, and that was very concerning, especially because her age, she was a little bit older.
I got God. I got Jesus. He's my protector.
Do you think women are safe, single women?
See, that's that bullshit. That's that bullshit. I'm about to send this to somebody. I know exactly who I'm about to send this shit to right now.
Yes, if they have Jesus, that's all they need. Jesus is the way.
Well, get a lot of people off the streets. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. There's a homeless problem. Yeah.
We have to be protected. Other countries are protected. Why we can't be protected? You know, and the cities, people has gone crazy. Just let a man take over. Yeah. Let Trump take over.
Okay,
yes.
so you're for federalizing DC because you think that it will help the people here be more safe?
Yes, 100%.
Reporting for Lindell TV in Washington, D.C., I'm Kara Castronova.
So, of course, this is all anecdotal and, yes, could be cherry-picked. But the simple idea remains that a lot of these people interviewed here reflect the same sentiment that was given just last month in the Washington Post, right? Black residents and lower-income residents were significantly more worried about crime than white residents and those with higher incomes. As they were last year, Black women are among the most concerned, with 65% saying crime is a very or extremely serious issue. So, of course, this is the old poll before Donald Trump actually went into D.C. And now the new polling coming out, which approved whether or not Donald Trump should be in there, they're saying that the vast majority, over 75%, say no, Donald Trump should not be in there. However, that poll only has 600 respondents, which means you could have a skewed sampling. But either way, you cannot argue with the results. As you can see, since Donald Trump's takeover, in just 7 days, you have robbery down 46%, attacks with a deadly weapon down 6%, carjacking down 8%.
It's beyond this, y'all. It's beyond what you see listed here. It's when you have people online who are YouTube influencer or any type of influencer, and you have destructive males. Like, let me say something, okay? Just hear me out. Watch nothing with Diddy, but I heard enough about Diddy. And I told you I met Diddy before when I was a teenager. I saw him in Biggie. I didn't even meet him. I saw him in Biggie, okay? And that was at my aunt's celebrity party at her mansion, okay? And I'm just saying, it's nothing to really talk about. We just saw Diddy and we saw Biggie ugly black ass, okay? That's it. In this bright ass shirt, looking like a true Jamaican nigga. Other than that, that's it. But I heard what he did to Cassidy. I heard enough. And for him to do all that, I knew it was going to happen. You got black motherfucking bitches nigga bitches still celebrating when he got off. The same way nigga bitches defended R. Kelly. It's deeper than that. Because the only thing missing is harassment. molestation, rape, sexual abuse, sexual harassment. That's what's not listed here. Bullying. Harassing is number fucking 1. And so with all this and these nigga bitches defending this type of behavior with these niggas, it's shots fired at these nigga bitches. So it's best, it's a smart. Remember, one thing about white supremacy, they some clever motherfuckers. Okay? They clever. They're very fucking clever. And on top of them being fucking clever, listen, they're going to go publicly. Let's attack all the nigga bitches and all the dirt they've been doing publicly first. Let's annihilate them first. Then we're going to work on the inside and we're going to annihilate all these nigga bitches because the niggas, y'all already, y'all already be annihilated by the niggas already, but we just going to help annihilate them a little bit more. And once we get more black women on our side, I've been said this too. Once we get more black women on our side, now shots is fired because while we laying these niggas down, they gonna be right here by our side in these particular neighborhoods. Oh Lord. And it's immigration raids. Oh, this is 5 years ago. I'm not going to look at that. Fuck ICE and Trump. We want our streets back. Black culture and white colleges protests in D.C. Okay, hold on. It was another one. Let's see what this man we got to say. Let's see the difference. Let's look at the difference and let's look.
Audio has a new feature that just blew my mind. You can take a link from a YouTube video and plug it into their new Link Match AI.
I don't know if you saw the video about what's happening in DC and how the police basically raided a black neighborhood, but black people are under attack as usual. Okay. Black people need white allyship in person. Okay. All this rah-rah on the internet, we can't stand what's happening. Da, 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 da. Okay. Prove it. Okay.
There has become a look of the mammy that is crazy right now. There's a look to a man.
You see something happening that's wrong, you should speak up about it. Black lives have always been on the line from the dawn of time, and I'm sick of talking about it, but I will never stop talking about it because we're tired of always being the ones that's doing the work, always being the ones that's on the front lines, protesting, trying to fight for our own rights. If y'all feel the way that we do, if you really care about us, do something. That's it. I mean, we can only protect ourselves to a degree. And black people stand down, okay? Stand down. Try not, and I'm trying to be
what?
Oh, he like that. Oh, okay. See, the mammy will glitch out sometime on the blackmail. She will glitch out on him, right? It will just slip out. And as soon as she said that shit, this nigga said what? As soon as she said that, did y'all catch that? This nigga said what? Because like she said, we can only protect ourselves for so much. He never even talks. He usually just listens.
Wait. Hold on. Because I do want to play the full video in its entirety.
Okay, and he has a southern accent. That says
without being interrupted. But we just got to really have a come to Jesus moment right now. And thank you guys for continuing to rock with me. But we got to have a come to Jesus moment right now. Wait a minute. After the election, black people, black women specifically, because I ain't seen no black men. I seen a couple of simps, but en masse, Black women said that, you know what, this y'all fight, we don't want nothing to do with nothing, and we just gonna chill. That's what y'all said. And I don't understand, did they raid a Black neighborhood, or did they raid a crime-infested area in order to make sure that children are able to walk down the street so we can remove the guns, the drugs, and degenerate behavior off of the streets of DC, which is very close to the White House and the Treasury and where Congress convenes? What is this under attack thing? When you are abiding by the law and you don't have drugs, because nobody.
He's deflecting. I didn't think this video was going to turn to this. He's deflecting. He's deflecting like a motherfucker. How did it see? Man, listen. The story tells itself, doesn't it? Because I'm about to jump on this thing I saw. This nigga's deflected. I don't even want to hear him no more. Let me see. When does he close his mouth? He's still going.
Y'all so against the right thing. Listen, there's so many people, and I'm gonna talk about this on the Millionaire Morning Show. There is so many people that are on the wrong side of history here, guys.
Did this nigga just copy the divestors? Damn, they wasn't lying. That nigga copying the fucking divestors. They say they the only ones I ever heard say that shit.
In its entirety, so we can get the full force of the Black woman's perspective inside of DC.
I don't know if you saw the video about what's happening in DC and how the police basically raided a Black neighborhood.
I'm gonna dissect what she says on my own. I need him to shut the fuck up. The divestors wasn't lying. That nigga, they the only one I ever heard say that shit. But now this nigga saying that shit. Ooh. Ooh.
Good. But Black people are under attack.
This is, here we go. Play attention to the language. Black people under attack.
As usual.
As usual.
Black people need white allyship in person.
Black people need white allyship in person. Facts.
Okay. All this rah-rah on the internet, you know, we can't stand what's happening, da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Prove it. Okay. If you see something happening that's wrong, you should speak up about it.
Prove it. If you see something happening, the hood life. Do you know how much crime I've seen from my window? How much crime I've seen from out my motherfucking peephole? From just walking around. When I was walking home and that young dude had a big ass stick and it was two dudes behind me and two girls behind me walking because they didn't look no older than 20. If that. And he had a stick and was ready to fuck everybody up because nigga was walking with his girlfriend. I took my ass in the building. That was a crime. I was supposed to call 911. When niggas shot in building 10 and shot in building 10 and ran to building 8 and had the gun in the incinerator, I was supposed to call 911. When I heard the fights up above me, hitting that little girl, and they was fighting and shit like that, I was supposed to dial 911. And the crimes I seen in the street, I was supposed to dial 911, and I never did. The police station was 2 blocks down the block, and the cops was always out there patrolling. I could have just knocked on the window and pointed. But you can't do that when you live in the hood. You are taught a fucking, what is it? This silent seal of silence, this invisible line that's written that you can't say shit when you live in the hood. This is your life. I saw, when I first moved here, I saw these little niggas, hard all little niggas, okay, break into the house across the street from me. I have no fucking clue who these kids was, what they was doing, and I called the cops. Do you know a family member told me that I shouldn't have called the fucking cops? That's how fucked up this shit is. What's this? Oh, I like this. LTX Studio. Okay.
Black lives have always been on the line from the dawn of time, and I'm sick of talking about it, but I will never stop talking about it because we're tired of always being the ones that's doing the work, always being the ones that's on the front lines protesting.
The mammy does not know how to separate herself from the black male. She's so male identified. She has to make it a we, us thing. And it's not a we, us thing. She's not seeing that. It's a him thing. He's sitting there with his face childish as fuck, frowning up at what she's saying. As if like, man, I can't wait for them to annihilate these movies.
Trying to fight for our own rights. If y'all feel the way that we do, if you really care about us, do something. That's it. I mean,
she can't say it. She can't say nigga, nigga man, nigga male, nigga degenerate, nigga whatever. If you care, then be a man, stand the fuck up and do something. I wanted to share something with y'all because I had enough of this shit. This shit done burnt my motherfucking pancakes. Listen, today happened. This morning happened, right? And so what happened was, I'm gonna tell you what happened. There was a conversation about a situation with somebody's life, right? The same old person, right? Me and her talking about it, right? And they were like, they were attacking the man's daughter, right? They were attacking the man's, literally said, because I got tired of hearing it. It was like, ever since she let that girl in her house, and she let that girl in her house, that all that bad stuff started happening, and he told her, did not let her in. I said, why these nigga bitches don't never look at that dick semen meat that they fucking, I was very, very cordial about it, that they fucking as they bad fucking juju. Why I gotta be a little girl, a woman, and everybody else got to be their bad? Well, women could be vicious and women can cause this and that, but she's fucking him. And oh boy, it turned into, I have my ways and I think things are set in my ways. I said, look, I don't give a fuck about a nigga bitch and a nigga bitch logic. I don't understand it, and I'm not trying to understand a nigga bitch logic. I don't know these people. These people are fucking strangers. And they began to express to me that this person has been down this motherfucking road before. I said, well, they've been down this road before. And I said, well, the things is times is this. Times is this. I see what this world is. They're putting black women and their children out, and it's not going to be easy for her to get another place. They're not even going to rent to black women. If she has even that, there's something about it. They're not going to fucking do it. And this is the conversation I was having early this morning. And so I eventually was like, I don't understand the nigga bitch logic, and I'm not going to sit here and try to understand the nigga bitch logic. Okay? And you understand what I'm saying? What I'm getting at is like, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth about strangers. Okay? I'm not going to go back and forth with strangers. Strangers that I don't even know. A person I'm in a relationship that I'm still getting to know. right? The nigga bitch logic is not one to understand, and the nigga bitch together is not one to understand. And you need to understand that the nigga bitch and the nigga will never like you as the alternative Black woman, okay? You're not going to be fucking like in your family. You're not going to be like. You're not going to be like when you have a relationship, and unless you date and go outside yourself, it doesn't matter. You're just not going to be fucking liked, because there's something about you that has a sense of self beyond what they can understand. There is something about you that has a self-reflection that they cannot understand. It's been a while since I've sat down and looked in the mirror at myself. It really has been. And when I get to a point where I haven't looked in the mirror, that means it's time for me to start looking at myself in the mirror. What do I like? What do I don't like? And what do I want to change? I was supposed to buy myself a full body mirror. If I remember, I'll buy that this weekend. This is what I'm trying to say. The nigga bitch is the worst. And it's so sad because you have, see, I walk around with this attitude that I have because I'm not a nigga bitch. And I let that be known. I'm not nothing to play with. And it's not easy to just talk to me like that. It's not easy to just get me to open up like that. That's what it has caused for me in my own personal world. Whatever she's battling with, we can't give a fuck about it. And the reason we can't give a fuck about it, because she has been so very vicious to us in a way that we never deserved. And some of them have done it in the name of friendship, but they were being so nasty and vicious that we can't give a fuck about what is going on with her or her life or how anything. We can't give a fuck. We can never give a fuck. It's cause and effect. And see, we already know what he is. We don't care to talk about him. We know what he is. There's no reason, honestly, to this point, there's no reason to address him. Unless we laughing at that nigga that got shot 4 times and beat up. This old nigga still outside fighting. That's crazy. That's crazy. Still out here getting it in like he's still a young ass nigga. That's crazy. What happens? So let's get back to your YouTube celebrity people. What happened? Okay. I'm gonna tell you what happened. What happened is people who were nasty motherfuckers, gossipers, schemers, fucking people husbands, fucking their own family members, helping motherfucking bitches violate other motherfucking bitches and shit, abusing little girls in their family. All of this, people in their family, they've been abusing all type of motherfucking shit these niggas been motherfucking doing. These are the ones that became your YouTube celebrities. And so when you found out how fucked up they were, You're just completely disgusted. Some of you probably laugh, but some of you are completely disgusted. Doctors being laid off. Oh, Carnival Cruise. We don't care about that.
$88,000 in annual recurring revenue. And not only did he have a six-figure launch.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to get to what people are saying. Okay. I don't even know. Who is this? Isn't this that T lady? Okay, because I be getting her mixed up with the Tasha lady. That's a mammy. That's a nasty mammy right there. She have a nerve to be a water sign too, so she even worse with it. Let's go.
Is cutting off Medicaid coverage to nearly 88,000 people in Minnesota. Starting September 1st, people living in 11 counties, including Ramsey, St. Louis, and Stearns, will be forced to find a new insurance provider. Why? UCare says it's losing too much money. Their claim is that the government isn't reimbursing enough to cover actual patient care. So they're pulling out of Benton, Chisago, Crow Wing, Pennington, Ramsey, Roseau, Sherborne, Stearns, St. Louis, Wadena, and Wright counties until at least the end of the year. This affects people under the prepaid medical assistance program and Minnesota Care, but not seniors or people with disabilities. Still, tens of thousands of low-income families will have to scramble to find coverage. And UCare says it's working with the state to transition them. Let's be real. This isn't just about UCare. The bigger story is the federal Medicaid cuts just signed into law by the president, part of this GOP-led tax break and spending slash package. Minnesota expects to lose $500 million in federal Medicaid funding, and the CBO projects 11.8 million Americans could lose coverage nationwide. So this isn't just a temporary inconvenience. It's part of a trend. Healthcare for low-income people is under attack, and this decision by UCare might just be the first domino.
And this is scary because Ramsey County covers St. Paul, which is one of the biggest cities in Minnesota, we're the Twin Cities, so St. Paul and Minneapolis. So Ramsey County is huge. There's a lot of people in Ramsey County who depend on these programs. And so for people to just be cut off like that is insane. I also low-key feel like they're low-key trying to punish Tim Walz, our governor, but that's a whole nother conspiracy, child.
If you or someone you know is in any one of these counties, start planning now. The system isn't going to catch you. You're going to have to fight to stay covered. I will keep following this. If you have questions or stories from the front lines of this absolute mess, drop them in the comments.
People are starting to see Medicaid. I've seen, I don't know, maybe 10 videos this morning. These poor people. They've lost their Medicaid. And at least the people in these videos, they don't have a pension. They don't have savings. Their Medicaid is what is paying for their medication. Predominantly. And they can't afford it. There was one gentleman that is on 23, I think he said, medications. Some basically, in his words, to sustain his life. And he can't afford them. And as I listened to these videos, I thought, God, like, how did we get here? That we are now
it fucking hit me. Damn, it hit me. health, as they say, is your wealth, right? And then knowledge yourself. That's the quote, right? And that's real. Your health is your internal. I had a health situation over here. And I kept saying, I kid you not, I say, yo, I need to get a juicer. I need to cleanse my body. I got to stop all this fast food shit. I need to cleanse my body. I need to juice. I need to go back into juicing. I need to go back into drinking my teas. I need to go back into eating a different type of meal, even go get a cookbook. I say I even got to get a cookbook because I notice when I get cookbooks, I keep that cookbook open and whatever. I need to make some changes in my life. There needs to be changes. I said that. That is my spirit screaming at me right now. Okay? Screaming at me. Probably not the loudest, but just a little scream, like a knocking at the door. Because the quote goes, when I saw the medicine that I had to fucking take, it bothered me. And I said, see, if you don't eat your food as medicine, you'll eat your medicine as food. You know what I mean? And that is like the realest shit that I saw this year. Remember, I kept telling y'all that shit. I have to take heed to that, and I have to make changes. And I swear to you, my partner, she said that shit to me today. She said, yo, she was like, yo, it's my fault. Because I always take you out to eat. I never tell you no. And I had to see it for myself. As soon as you ask me to go, I take you. It's my fault. I got to start saying no. And I'm not just blaming her, but I used to be like, man, bitch, stop fucking tell me no, bitch. Tell me no. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you know you want an accountability partner, but it's screaming at me. I even had a situation where somebody I reached out to, she had like all these different vegan meals. I'm talking the good shit, like chef style cooked. And she didn't do the ground, what's that called? What's that shit they started having that was new years ago? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That beef one, but it's not supposed to be beef. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Plant-based shit. She was saying she don't do the plant-based, and she showed the brand that she used and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, damn, she got some good ass vegan. She's like, good food. So it's not so much of me, quote unquote, becoming vegan. It's more about me eating clean for the next year of my life, at least for the next year, and start working out my body and start focusing on my body, start focusing on my mind, start taking immunity drinks. You know what I'm saying? Drink them things at work, stuff like that. Start taking my supplements again, mental supplements, stuff like that. Supplements that keep certain parts of my body, for my heart, whatever the thing is. It's an awareness that people are not paying attention to when it comes to their body. Even the fact of me getting a full body mirror says a lot. Okay? I'm not somebody who can feel comfortable looking at my body a certain type of way because I'm somebody who always was so conscious of my body. Oh, there she go calling me. Let me go ahead and just play this.
Taking benefits away from people.
Hey, baby.
We got here because racism,
Where you
bigotry,
taking her to?
xenophobia, and everything is very expensive. And people thought that it would not
you just
affect
gonna visit
them
her?
because, again, those are those people over there. And now the leopards are
okay?
coming back to eat people's faces. And I hope the man that, has all these
Does she like
medical
college?
issues and has to be on all these medications, I hope he was
What's
smart
your
in his
major in?
voting decisions, but, who knows? Like I always say, we're all one big circle of life. So what affects one affects us all. We're thinking, as individuals and not thinking for the collective. And here we are in 2025, unfortunately.
How did we get here? How did people vote for this? There were a couple Republicans on these videos, and they seemed absolutely shocked. Shocked that they suddenly didn't have Medicaid. It was kind of like we thought Democrats were lying, and now we know they weren't. And just the vibe was, they were shocked. They were absolutely shocked. The others were Democrats, and they knew what was coming down the pipeline.
What is that?
Didn't expect it so fast, I think. And, how do you have time to prepare for something, even if you know that it's coming, when you don't have the funds?
Ooh.
They don't have the funds.
That's some African shit.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
And I feel so bad for these people. There's just, I don't have it in me to kind of go, at least in this moment, to go like, we told you so.
Who got it?
I've had moments of that, but we told you, we told you. But you listen to the guy that's on the list instead.
Well, it's officially trickled down to North Carolina that Medicaid cuts are going into effect. And unfortunately, a lot of, our elderly patients are no longer going to have homes, assisted homes where they can afford to actually live and be taken care of. This means mental health. We'll have more people. I mean, we already got a pretty nice homeless population. I'm assuming it's going to get even worse. I think the people who are going to get the grunt of what's happening with these Medicare cuts are going to be the people in the rural areas of the state. So especially those who got hit by Hurricane Helene, which Asheville area, I mean, y'all got hit pretty bad with it. I just kind of feel like right now, y'all swore up and down, and I'm just going to say it. Y'all swore up and down. Joe Biden wasn't trying to help y'all. Now you're really going to feel what it feels like to not have any help. And it's like, it's so sad that we have come to this where it was just like,
oh, hell yeah.
Damn, now you can finally open your eyes and see it. He has always been playing the game. He's always been playing the game. And while a lot of people want this, like, purity, it's never coming back. It's never coming back. Y'all voted based upon something that's just such an old, ignorant mind frame. And now, including y'all, but everybody else has to suffer. It's going to be interesting. I did hear that the cut to the kids wasn't as harsh. So a lot of the benefits that kids need, they tried to keep those things in place. But as far as adults, it means a lot of y'all in rural areas going to have to go to bigger cities and either try and get some private insurance or maybe direct with the doctor. I mean, and
I've had a lot of experience in the medical field this year because back in November, I had an accident where I basically ripped my arm off at the elbow and had to have a surgery to reattach it. And even after that surgery was successful and my hand started working, I was still paralyzed in the bicep and in the shoulder. And the surgery to try to reattach those nerves cost more than $400,000. So thank God I had insurance. But at the time that Medicaid is being cut in Virginia, because the big, beautiful bill passed by Congress is going to cut Medicaid for about 300,000 Virginians. And I think about the number of children, the number of elderly people, the number of widows, the number of just hardworking Virginians who are not going to feel comfortable accessing medical care. Are going to be worried about the insurmountable medical debt they're going to go in just trying to get basic things treated. Because as I saw with my surgery that cost over $400,000, some of the most basic things can cost insane amounts of money. And it really bothers me that Winsome Sears, who is running for governor, is all in support of the big, beautiful bill and the Medicaid cuts in Virginia because she is a Virginian. And if you're going to be governor and say that people should not have medical care, that's concerning.
All right, this is going to be a little long, so I apologize. The Department of Health and Human Services today reached out to all Medicaid providers and gave us an update on Medicaid funding and where things are going for the next fiscal year. It's not good. They have cut 3% of all reimbursement rates for all services. That's healthcare, behavioral health, long-term care, nursing home care, childcare, all of it. Everything got cut by 3%. But that wasn't enough to work with the budget that was given to them by the General Assembly. So they have a $319 million budget shortfall. So many programs also had an 8% cut instead of 3%, and some programs had a 10% cut. Here are some examples of the programs that had 10% cut. Inpatient healthcare stays, outpatient hospital stays, nursing home care took a 10% cut. PRTFs, psychiatric rehabilitation treatment facilities. I really need you to know those residential facilities, I said rehabilitation is residential, those facilities house individuals who have often cannot live on their own, have high levels of violence, and they're individuals that need high levels of supervision, medication, and support in order to be successful at all. And we cut funding to those facilities. Good call.
And it's scary because, you know, I have relatives who work at those type of facilities, and, you know, a lot of the young people who live there are violent. They have issues. They need help. So if these homes get shut down and the family members can't take care of them, that's why they're in these facilities. Where do they go? They're going to be out on the street. They're going to be attacking people. They're going to be having, you know, schizophrenic episodes and things like that. So this is a huge trickle down effect. And it's really scary because all of these budgets that are being cut are affecting real people, real families. But it's very interesting how we have billions of extra dollars to send overseas to certain countries. And y'all fill in the blanks of those countries that we're sending billions of dollars to.
8% cuts to things like outpatient treatment, physician care, specialty doctors got 8% cut to their reimbursement rates as well.
Monday CRM has the best AI features in the game,
especially in sales.
Hands down.
So for me, email composition works.
Cutting the reimbursement rates is going to cause problems. Not here in Wake County, where I work, and not in Durham County, where I live. It is going to cause huge problems to the rural communities and counties here in North Carolina, in places where they already didn't have enough doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, therapists.
Here's the thing. Y'all small town people didn't realize how poor y'all was in the beginning. Why do you think people from the cities get so much help? And flip it and do what they got to do and get the help that they need, and flip it and do what they got to do. Because they have an awareness of their situation. I don't think people in y'all small towns, I don't think y'all have a full awareness of y'all poverty.
All of those things, that there already weren't enough of those people in those areas to provide services. Now those individuals will no longer be able to bill Medicaid. It is also worth noting that roughly 3 million people are on Medicaid services, and most of that is spread out throughout the state. And a lot of those people are children. Now, DHHS was smart, and they made most of the cuts to the adult programs and kept all things related to child care under Medicaid limited to that 3% cut. So shout out to them for thinking of the kids, who are a majority of Medicaid recipients. But it is important to recognize that this policy is going to close places. It's going to close clinics. It's going to close private practice doctors, or like individual doctors' offices, outpatient primary care providers. Specialty doctors who already don't really work in these communities will have no incentive to travel out there and provide services, which means that there will be a drain of these skill sets from these rural communities. They will move into the cities where they can operate under private insurance.
Yeah, but a lot of people, if you come from a not suburban, but like a rural, small town, country type area, you ain't gonna make it in no big city. Even I noticed that even those kind of people, even in North Carolina, even if they go to the big cities within North Carolina, they don't fucking make it.
Or in private pay situations. This is going to be a disaster for the farming and
This is what he's saying is so true. And the thing that's really scary about this, you guys, is this is the beginning of the end of the medical system.
No, this is why y'all have to go spiritual. Y'all are not paying attention to your own bodies and your own health. Y'all make jokes. Y'all clown people who are vegan, who are healthy, who work out, who eat healthy. Y'all clown this. This is the lack of intelligence in America. Y'all clown people in Asian cultures who do not snack all day. Asian snack. I got some Asian snacks on my coffee table, my end table now. Y'all, the Asian snacks are not. They're bitter. They're like little dishes. That's what they're like. They're not really sweet. I've never tasted a sweet anything from them. Their candies are very different, and they don't snack all day. And y'all clown that. These people of other cultures put a lot of herbs and vegetables in their rices, in their foods, even season their fruits. They eat a lot of fruit, even though there's still sugar in fruit, but they still eat a lot of fruit. You still have to do things in moderation. I say it depends on what your body calls for. If you're eating a lot of fruit, your body may be calling to eat a lot of fruit. If you eat a lot of vegetables, it might be calling for whatever's in that vegetable for you to eat. I say listen to your body. That's what I do, and it works for me. I can only speak for myself. It works for me. Now, I'm not saying nothing stupid like eat paper or cotton or nothing like that.
Doctors are being laid off, nurses.
I did not know that doctors was being laid off. This is a new one for me. Anybody can confirm this information? I did not know doctors were being laid off. Nurses are fucking mean. And I'm gonna back up on what I'm saying. I'm not backing up on saying that they mean, but I've met some very rude, nasty nurses. I mean, some very nasty people on the job site that is disturbing, because it's like, I don't want this fucking bitch operating on my body. I don't want this person touching me. I don't want to be under no fucking anesthesia, sleep or whatever under the guise of this motherfucker here.
Remember, these were steady jobs. Everybody was going to nursing school. People were encouraged to become doctors and things like that.
Oh, yes.
How can you go to school to be a doctor for years, get all this student loan debt, and there's literally nowhere to work? Because a lot of these hospitals, they're the ones billing Medicaid. These insurance companies are the ones getting rich. It's not even the doctors and the nurses, it's the insurance companies. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole with how much of a scam a lot of these insurance companies are and the things that they're doing to scam Medicaid. Let's continue.
In rural communities in this state. It is also worth noting that the same communities that will be heavily affected by this were also the ones heavily affected by Hurricane Helene. We are, by policy, abandoning those people. You cannot just get a doctor to move to your community and then offer affordable services to everyone. That's not a thing that happens. Not because of how we've set up our healthcare system. That just doesn't happen, which means that people will drive 100, 200, 300 miles to see a doctor. They'll drive to Mecklenburg County, to Wake County, to Durham County to see specialists. Imagine you have a loved one of yours that has a cancer diagnosis and they have to drive 2 hours into the city to get their treatments and then 2 hours home. How much extra burden financially that puts on you as an individual, and how much more of a burden it places on the healthcare system. Not to mention the fact that many specialties in those counties already have 6-month wait lists. I have a person that I'm connected with that has been trying to see a gastroenterologist. Every person they've called, covered by their insurance, has a 6-month waiting list for a problem they need to be seen for now. Imagine how much worse that is going to get when all these rural communities don't have treatment providers to go to of any kind and have to come into the major cities for that.
Oh my God. Just the whole process of manufacturers is too expensive. Quality was absolute garbage.
Am I muted?
I need you to know something. Your taxpayer money is paying for Medicaid. And it is paying, you are paying for somebody else's health care. It is also worth noting that your health insurance premium is also paying for somebody else's health care. That is how health insurance works, but that's besides the point. But the reason you want this money spent is because Medicaid will dictate where the needs are. They do a gap analysis every year and say, we don't have enough doctors or treatment facilities in this area, and they will provide grants and funding to send people out there. And nonprofit organizations and other healthcare entities will take advantage of those grants and go provide healthcare services where they otherwise would not, because it's not financially viable without support from taxpayer grants. Okay? That's just the way that this works when it comes to providing healthcare in our system. The system needs some overhaul, but this policy is not going to fix anything. It's going to make it worse. One of the other areas, nursing homes took a 10% reimbursement rate cut. For-profit nursing homes operate on razor-thin margins. I knew somebody once who compared it to restaurant margins. Okay? Tiny. Nonprofits also struggle to break even on a regular basis. Cutting those rates means that they're going to do one of two things. Number one, they're either just going to close outright. They're just going to shut their doors and sell the property. Number two, they're going to kick all their Medicaid clients out, refuse to take Medicaid clients, and only take private pay. Fun fact, Medicare doesn't cover nursing home care. Okay? This is going to lead to elderly who are homeless that also have complicated medical conditions. It's going to fill up the hospitals. As I mentioned, rural hospitals probably will start closing or have a reduced number of beds.
What if I told you that there's people in the world that wants to see this happen? Would you believe me? Would you believe me if I said to you right now out my mouth that there are people in this world that are happy to see this happen to everybody? I never gall at people's misery. I don't. But what I do gall at or laugh about is that I see people be so fucked up. Oh, I see people be so fucked up. Okay. I mean, fucked up. So much that you say to yourself, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? Like, they make you feel like, what the fuck did I do to deserve to be treated like this? So fucked up that you be like, did somebody really do something that fucked up to somebody? And you see how fucked up shit happens to them. This is why I tell you I don't feel sorry for people. And you see how shit so fucked up happens to them, right? And I tell you all the time, yo, people who have a lot of fuckery or fucked up shit, manipulative shit, all kind of shit happen to them. You got to get inside that person to understand what's going on. Some people, such as myself, can have one person, maybe two, in their motherfucking life that has carried and haunted them, that the spirit of them keeps reflecting back and back and back into their lives. Okay? Keeps haunting them. They don't even realize that they're experiencing the same thing over and over because of this one person or this other person that caused this pain to them. And like me, they wake the fuck up and say, oh, no more of this. Why is it that I always feel like nobody's gonna like me? No matter what I do, where I'm at in a relationship, I just always feel like ain't no motherfucking body gonna like me. And I'm a very likable person. I am. I really am. That's why the most of us who are very mean and like with purpose, like, and we only talk to certain people, we are actually we're the coolest people and the kindest people that you can ever fucking meet. Like, hands down, you can fucking love us. You feel me? And the thing is, what happens in this world with people like this is this. This is the beginning of their karma in their life. It's through their motherfucking health. All we knew is a mammy being sick, so much that we thought as kids that that was the normal thing of what happens to you when you get old. You have grown as women my age and older who still sit around and take care of somebody because they believe subconsciously that that can be them, and it don't have to be. I had somebody say to me, well, I don't want to be on disability. You don't have to be if you just take care of your motherfucking health. And I'm screaming this to myself. I'm looking in the mirror as I say this to you all.
Because they won't have the providers they need to operate or the funding they need to operate. This is a disaster for rural healthcare here in North Carolina, and particularly in areas hit by Hurricane Helene. This is a foolish policy. I will illustrate how foolish it is by telling you about a problem. There was a pilot program being funded by Medicaid and DHHS under a federal grant. That program was determining how to administer Medicaid services more efficiently. And they were saving $1,000 per person per year for every recipient on that program. They were going to take their learnings from that and apply that to Medicaid as a whole, which would have saved millions of dollars per year. And they just cut the funding for that program in its entirety, and then cut funding for Medicaid services. It is also worth knowing that this current budget shortfall is not yet connected to the federal budget that passed recently. Those cuts are still also coming.
So this is just very apparent that they want the populace sick, broke, depressed, and dead. They're trying to thin the herd. Okay, they're trying to get rid of the useless eaters, in the words of Margaret Sanger. It's frightening what's going on, but like I said, I want you guys to be aware of this. So let's continue.
I'm one of those. There's a realist about me. I'm spiritual, yet I'm very realistic about life, very grounded about what I see. People need to take responsibility for their part in this shit, man. You see, why is the health being snatched away? I'm going to put on my feminist hat now. I'm going to go there. I'm going to put the feminist hat on. A part of it was all the health care that a lot of trans was getting. And trust me, they was getting a lot of health care. Okay? That's number one. That's another big part of it. Also, there were just people in this world who just don't take care of their health. They just don't do it. Nor do they care to take care of their health. But I'm gonna be quiet.
And so it begins. In certain states, nursing homes have already started reaching out to their residents who receive Medicaid, giving them 30 days to find another place basically to get their care provided to them. Why, you ask? Come on, sip a little tea with Auntie. Let's talk about it. The big, beautiful bill. The big, beautiful bill. These companies, these nursing homes are coming to the realization that they're losing money by having these residents in their facility. But secondly, y'all, I want y'all to think deeper into it. If these residents, I'd say probably 60% or 70% of the residents inside of nursing homes, a good bit of y'all are there because of Medicaid. You know, if they getting rid of 60, 70% of Medicaid people, who takes care of most of those residents in the nursing home? Think about it. The nurses are there to give them their medicine, assist with wound care and all that other stuff. But the basis of their bathing and feeding them and changing their beds and all that stuff is typically the job of a CNA. If you ain't got no residents, what you need CNAs for? It all works hand in hand. CNA's gonna have to find other locations to work at. Residents gonna have to find locations that accept Medicaid, which is gonna be far and few for a whole lot of people, for the simple fact of they're gonna be losing more money than they're gaining by keeping people who receive Medicaid to pay for their health, their well-being, they're taken care of inside of these facilities. It's gonna get rough. And it's not just gonna start and end with nursing homes either. Think about those rural areas. The state of Louisiana is full of them that only have 2 hospitals in these rural areas. 1 out of 2 is gonna close. What does that mean for you if you stay in an hour and a half before your only emergency facility for you to be able to get to? Can't run to an urgent care real quick because they getting ready to close them down too. A lot of people in one place, it's not gonna be good, y'all. This is only the beginning. And I'm not on here trying to fearmonger nobody, y'all. These are facts. This is happening ahead of time. If you don't
And I hate that word fear mongering because I've been accused of that my whole YouTube career, basically. But it's funny how people love to say it's fear mongering, and then we see the truth coming to pass. What a lot of it is people's cognitive dissonance, where they're scared to face reality. And now reality is hitting a lot of people in the face, and they're understanding that, that insurance that you have that you thought, oh, well, I'm not getting food stamps, I'm not getting benefits. Some people's insurances were a part of Medicaid. Medicaid was paying for some of these people's insurances. It may not be called Medicaid, on the paperwork, but a lot of people were getting some type of benefit from the system, especially with low cost and sliding scale medical assistance.
What is interesting to me is I remember I expressed to a neighbor, said, listen, I said, I told her about the Section 8. And she was like, well, I hope my daughter didn't, because I'm going to ask her about it, when I see her again. She's like, I hope my daughter, and what is this man doing? And what he's just causing that, So there's some people that they're not even paying attention, y'all. Okay? Their mindset is that religious mindset. Oh, they both the devil. It doesn't matter who we vote for. Yes, it does, baby. It does matter. You better choose which devil. You believe in that, then you better choose which devil to vote for. If they both devils, you got to choose one. They don't even know what's going on out here. And the devastation that they feel when they realize, like, oh my gosh, what? They taking that away. That tells you something. In my younger years, yes. No, I can't even say my younger years. At my age and before hitting 40, I do what needs to be done. We don't need to go into that. Always do what needs to be done. You feel me? Like, I just had a bill paid off. Another bill that needs to be paid. You know what I'm saying? And I took, it's gonna get paid, basically. I just gotta go through the rigmarole to pay the motherfucker, but the motherfucker gonna get paid. But we don't gotta talk about that. You got people that they don't know what the fuck to do.
Instant help. So this is going to affect a lot of people moving forward that may not even realize it until they get that letter in the mail.
Don't believe me, just go type in your search bar and look at this video of this young lady who's puzzled right now because she don't know where she's gonna put her father at. He's in a nursing home. He receives Medicaid that pays for his stay in that nursing home, and they gave her 30 days. He has to be out of that nursing home by September the 15th. He has to be gone out of the nursing home and find another location that'll accept him with his Medicaid. It's sad, y'all. It is sad.
It's happening. Did you guys see that woman talking about her father who got kicked out of the nursing home? That's not a random story. It's happening across the country. Just like we thought, because of that wonderful, our big, beautiful bill, nursing homes are discharging residents who rely on Medicare or Medicaid because they won't be able to pay. Why? Because those programs are being gutted by funding cuts. Most of the residents are there because Medicare or Medicaid pays for their care. So without that funding, these facilities can't survive. They will kick people out. When the money disappears, they close. They don't care for your loved ones for free. They'll send them home to you. That means you quit your job, lose half your household income, and then all of a sudden you're the full-time caregiver. And then when thousands of caregivers leave the workforce, when nursing homes shut down, the economy takes a hit. This whole thing's not just about politics. It's about whether your parents, your spouse, your kids will have the care they need when they need it. People voted for this. Medicare and Medicaid cuts don't just hurt the elderly and the disabled. Believe it or not, they hurt every single one of us in some way.
So now we kicking old people out of nursing homes, packing their bag and chucking them to do. That's what we doing now. Because that's what's happening. And the reason it's happening is because these states are not going to foot the bill. Remember that big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump signed? Yeah. He didn't give a crap about your grandma. You're going to have to move her in with you, boo-boo. He don't care. That's what people don't realize. And y'all are so gung-ho in supporting him, and he is tearing your life apart. Kicking old people out of nursing homes over money. God, what would Jesus do? He would flip a lid because this is inhumane, but this is what you voted for.
Well, I just spoke to my mother who's in the nursing home.
Book of the month, September picks are finally here. Let's get into them. What happens when the perfect career girl can't keep the mask on anymore? For our main character, Marissa, her corporate success is built on stolen work and lies. For most students, Folklore 517 is just stories. But for Holland, it's a warning. When the Watchman predicts that Holland's death will be within 24 hours.
It's so tempting for me to see stuff with books. I get excited and I want to click on it, and I'm not going to do it.
You know, she and my family have told me for the past 10 years to keep my mouth shut and to not offend people with my, political views, because my political views are let's take care of people. Let's not be assholes, and let's not lie about facts, because immigrants are not more dangerous than the men that have my skin color. Never have been, never will be, ever. We are the predators. It's on every single map. It's charts and graphs, man. If you have problems with numbers, it's basic charts and graphs. Okay, but I digress. My mom called. She's already heard about what.
I don't take what's happening so personal. But as an adult, you have to accept what is as an adult, right? And it's just interesting, right? Because we have gone in life, right? I'm not going down that road. It's just interesting, right? How angry a lot of people are over this.
What's happening at the nursing homes, because she lives in a nursing home. Thank God my brother put her in a nursing home in Kansas and not Missouri. That's her only hope, is that she's in a blue state. Of course, Kansas is still full of a whole bunch of, my dad used to say sunflowers and sons of bitches, but I love Kansas. Missouri's the sons of bitches. Missouri's holding a special election, trying to get everybody redistricted because they are the boot licking. What does Trump have on them? He's holding everybody hostage. But now, here's where they fucked up. They passed that big, beautiful bill, and everyone said, oh, we're going to get all these people that don't deserve Medicaid off of Medicaid. Shit, whatever. Y'all that don't understand how anything works, that's not how it works. There's nobody on Medicaid that doesn't fully qualify for Medicaid. They only look through your fucking doctor's records. Idiots. Okay, but my mom called, and she's not sure what she's going to do. And the only good thing, and if this video got out to my brother, he would say, yeah, there's my sister.
It hit close to home. That's the only time y'all self-reflect, America, is when it hits you close to home. That's when you get it. You don't have the capacity to look at the whole picture. You don't have the capacity to get over yourself. Why do you listen? Let me tell you something. I wanted to vote for Trump. I wanted to vote for Trump. I did. But I said, who was going to give a fuck about these women and children, man? Ain't nobody going to give a fuck about these women and children. And I'm a woman with children. And even I know people don't give a fuck about women with children. Okay?
We told that motherfucker never to vote for Donald Trump. My brother will be, there are familial responsibilities in 29 states out of 50. And what that means is, it's a little known fact that children are responsible for their parents. That's for their food, clothing, housing, and medical care. The children are financially responsible for their parents. Now, you may have had a bad mom. You may have had a horrible dad. But because of the fact that they are your parent, there is a little known fact called a filial, F-I-L-L-A-L, I believe it is, responsibility, means that you are responsible for all of the bills, for all of your mother's medication, for all of your mother's welfare, for her clothes, for her food. Oh, she's not going to get SNAP benefits because we already cut all the SNAP benefits. So I hope you don't mind working a third job to take care of your mom. And I told my mom this afternoon, good thing her son's Republican. The only family member in our family that is Republican is one of my brothers. And we don't know what the fuck happened to him. I mean, we're all Democrats. As far as the eye can see, we've got one lone Republican, but he's the one that insisted on voting for Donnie John. So now he's going to be finding out because I have one brother that is not super healthy, not able to take care of my mother. And then I'm out here in California. I'm not bringing her out here. I don't even have a place to live out here where I can take care of her. Dadgummit. You know, I saw a gal that was a physical therapy tech, and she's like, well, they said they were going to send my dad home from the nursing home. So I went down a rabbit hole. What fucking rabbit hole? We've been telling you they were lying. We told you they were lying. You don't need to go down a rabbit hole. All you need to do is listen to other humans. See, the only way that we were able to come from the East Coast to the West Coast is we got into a wagon trail with a bunch of other people and we circled our wagons together. We've always done that since the beginning of humanity. We listen to each other and take advice from each other. That's how we survive in this big, crazy, fucked up place.
That Fafio law that she's talking about is a real law. So I hope a lot of people are prepared to take care of Mima and Papa, you know what I'm saying, and the damn molester uncle, because it's, you know, unfortunately, these folks got to go somewhere and they're going to come home with you. And for people who don't know, you know, nursing home cost anywhere from like $10,000 to $18,000 a month. It's very expensive. It's round the clock care. And a lot of people cannot afford this. So it's very, very disturbing what is coming down the pipeline for a lot of folks.
My dad lives in a nursing home. And by now, I'm sure you've seen the video circulating about a woman who's really concerned because her dad is getting kicked out of his nursing home due to Medicare. And this is just the anticipatory changes that the big, beautiful bill is putting into place. What people don't understand is a lot of nursing homes are actually owned by these big corporations, right? So the big corporations, your local branch,
I'm not gonna hold you,
isn't that? But like they are.
I didn't even go this deep. I didn't even think about the nursing homes. I think this is a low-key motherfucking purge. And a bitch like me been laying low. And I mean low, 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 low. I've been laying low. I don't even complain at work. I just be chilling. I might say one or two things, but I be chilling. I don't get into it like that, bro.
By private equity, things like that. Like I know the one that my dad lives in is like that. And so the rules kind of come from on top. So it sounds like some of these nursing homes are figuring, well, we're not going to get reimbursed from Medicare in the future. So we're going to just start evicting people who, you know, pay that way because we don't want to suffer the losses. And
it's always about following the money trail. All of this stuff boils down to corporate greed. Insurance companies being greedy. You know what I'm saying? You have to follow the money trail to find out where the truth lies. The rich get richer and everybody else is left to suffer and hold the bag.
Instead, we'll try to fill those spots with people who pay out of pocket. Now, in my case, like my dad, we actually pay out of pocket, or I should say he pays out of pocket for his nursing home care. But what is it going to do when I guarantee you like 70, 80% of the people who are at my dad's facility are in some type of Medicare reimbursement, especially if they're in like very long-term care situations. Like that is super common. I don't think people understand that.
Y'all remember that video I played a while back? It was like triggering as fuck. You just wanted to rip that bitch face apart. Oh shit, did it click off? Yeah, it did. It was a video. She was like, well, I guess you all gonna have to work now. You know what I'm saying? And this and that. And I hope her motherfucking mama, daddy, somebody going through this in the fucking retirement home right now. I hope that bitch is going through that. I was thinking about her when I was watching this shit, and it just clicked off. It is what it is. Hold on, y'all. This is one of them motherfucking days. I'm actually feeling better. I was down on my ass for a little bit, but I'm feeling better now. Hold on, y'all. You go back into my history because I want to hear the rest of this shit. And it looks like it's in certain states too, y'all. Like, you know what I mean? It look like it's.
Instead, we'll try to fill those spots with people who pay out of pocket. Now, in my case, like my dad, we actually pay out of pocket, or I should say he pays out of pocket for his nursing home care. But what is it going to do when I guarantee you like 70, 80% of the people who are at my dad's facility are in some type of Medicare reimbursement, especially if they're in like very long-term care situations? Like that is super common. I don't think people understand that. And so what's going to happen when these facilities can't fill the apartments because there's not enough people who can afford? I mean, to give you an idea, it's over $4,000 a month, guys. $4,000. I mean, think about like that. That's like almost triple my mortgage. Okay. It's crazy. And in my case, like, what would happen if I was in this situation? Because I'm thinking about that. Like, what's going to happen if, like, my dad's facility, for example, shuts? Because there's not going to be beds anywhere for these people to go. So the burden is going to be on the families. And, like, in my case, I don't have anywhere to put this man. And I don't live in a handicap accessible home. And there is no housing in my area. So I can't just, like, pick up and move. And I have a mortgage from 2011. Like, I can't just move. Like that's not really an option. So like I don't know what I would be doing if I was in that same situation, and I am really worried. And if you're thinking, well, I'm so lucky, I don't have anyone in nursing care, I'm not going to be impacted. Let me just tell you that this is just the one little arm of the ripple effect that this is all going to have, right? What's going to happen when hospitals aren't getting reimbursed for things? What's going to happen when your doctors are not getting reimbursed? They're going to go private practice. I'm telling you, this whole healthcare system is like on a house of cards. Like it's all going to come crumbling down, and it's going to come crumbling down fast, unfortunately. So if you are worried about this, if you have loved ones that are going to be impacted, or you know you're going to be directly impacted by this, please know you're not in this alone.
Okay, just found out this afternoon that the nursing home that my dad is in is ending their Medicaid contracts. And he has until September 15th to figure out what to do. And so I've just been down the rabbit hole to try to figure out why would a nursing home end their Medicaid contract.
Well, let me save you the trouble. It's called a big, beautiful bill. You know, Project 25, that you all said it didn't exist.
I was embarrassed, and I felt like I was already behind in terms of my retirement savings. My friend told me about PensionBee. The PensionBee IRA gives me control over how I see my money and someone to talk to about it. I loved having the ability to choose from a variety of portfolios with different investment options. I worry a lot about money, and the money I don't worry about is the money that I have invested with PensionBee.
PensionBee, a better way to IRA.
Highly motivated, tenacious Buckeyes are out there hunting for news.
You are going to go undercover.
Should I do an American accent?
Or...
Get me a quarter pounder with cheese for my mom.
That looks
well, it did. So this is a severe case of FAFO. Yes, the nursing home is severely filled with over 80% of the patients on Medicaid. And when the budget cuts happen, they have no other choice but to release the patients that are on Medicaid because they cannot afford to pay their bills. So move those little kiddos, combine them in one room because you have to make room for Mima and Papa because they're coming home to you.
Yep, them nursing homes finna not take Medicaid, so y'all better get them rooms ready for Mima and Papa. Yeah, combine them kids' room, get rid of the den, man cave, whatever y'all got, scoot it over, because Mima and Papa.
Look, not Mima and Papa taking over the man cave, the basement, the wig room, and all that shit. Damn.
Papa is coming to the crib.
This is what I'm talking about. This, it don't probably bother you, but it irritates me. Okay. This is a serious fucking situation, and y'all laughing about this shit. Y'all making jokes about this shit. I don't find any of this shit to be funny. I don't think you understand the severity of this. The person the Rolling Ralph guy that died recently, in my heart of hearts, I feel like that person died because of health issues and Medicaid money and stuff that the family could not provide for him. Okay? Somebody who was out there that was funny and shit, rolling over people and shit like that. The nigga humor is dead in his Saturn return. Saturn jumped right back into Pisces. Dead. And I felt it. I said, nah, he died because of his health. This was something they couldn't afford, something with his medication, something with his operation. I fucking felt that shit. This shit ain't funny, y'all. I'm taking it personal because it's not funny.
I don't want to hear nothing. This is not what I voted for. Yes, this is absolutely what you voted for. Okay? No, I don't want to hear any of that. Mima and Papa will be at the crib in 30 to 45 days.
Damn.
All right? Yeah. Yeah. That's where we are. And listen, before you get in my comments with that red, blue, left, right, I don't want to hear none of that, bro. You can put that Trump hat and that shirt on your Mima and Papa, but they coming to the crib. Best believe that. If your in-laws use Medicaid, a lot of these services are going to not accept Medicaid. So yeah, make room.
Social worker here who works with seniors. Y'all didn't think the big beautiful bill was gonna impact nursing homes? You didn't think that?
No, bro, I ain't think
y'all
about
don't
that.
realize the nursing home.
Big glasses. I did not go that deep. I ain't think nothing about these nursing homes. I ain't think nothing about these old people because I already don't like boomers. I already don't like them motherfuckers. So I did not think about the nursing home.
I was covered by Medicaid, right? You know 60-70%. Do y'all understand how budgets work? Do you think majority of the people that are in that nursing home just have $4,000 or $5,000 a month to cover their private pay. A lot of those places are being reimbursed by Medicaid. Okay, Medicare is a different thing, and some of Medicare is covered by Medicaid. Okay, now you're talking about if they kick out all the people who are on Medicaid for their skilled nursing. One, we're talking about a ton of jobs lost. You're going to talk about the other people who are private pay. That's got to increase now. Okay, so you may be paying $4,000 a month with your retirement. Now that might go up to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, which means you'll run out of money sooner. And then where you gonna go? Because if you run out of money sooner and you get sicker, then where you gonna go?
Another thing that's going to go up too is elder abuse. Because think about it. If these people are not being reimbursed, there's no incentive for them to do their job. They're people going to sit in soiled diapers longer, dirty rooms. You know, if they know they're not getting no money like they normally would, or the checks are slow, it's going to be a lot of elders.
Why she think about that? Why this motherfucker online thinking about that? Because that's the shit she would do.
Kind of left to their own devices.
Pay attention. That's the bullshit she would do to your grandma or grandfather or your parents.
So their family members come and get them. So that's a very scary thought as well.
Mm-hmm. And we ain't even get into the SNAP benefits and how that's going to impact nutrition and how that's going to impact farms and the cost of food in general. See, when things happen when the government stops doing certain things and it impacts people who are lower income, you think that ain't working and contributing, you think that's not going to impact you too? I'm so confused. Why is this rocket science? I realized that a lot of people, they really think that the government was giving handouts and didn't realize that their hand was out too. It was behind their back with their hand out. Mm-hmm. See, you didn't have your hand out in front of you, so it seemed like you was better than everybody else. But reality, your life has also been being compensated by the taxpayers of this good. Yeah,
exactly. The farmers that were getting all types of supplemental benefits were able to sell their crops to the schools, and the military and U.S. aid. A lot of people were getting handouts. They so up and down, they were pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, but they too were getting some type of government benefit. And now those benefits are not there. And now people are upset. You know what I'm saying? People are losing their farms. They're losing their medical. This, again, a trickle-down effect. It affects one. It can affect us all because we are all what? Because we are all one big circle of life.
Americas, okay? Here in the United States, these states, your medical is being covered that way. Your medical is being discounted in some ways because we had those backings of those federal dollars. Mm-hmm. So you're not getting the coverage that your congressperson is getting, okay? They got good benefits in the government, specifically Congress. They didn't cut other stuff for the federal workers, and most of them are gone. What did y'all think was gonna happen? Yes. And
remember, folks was laughing at the federal workers. Remember, I did a whole video. Folks was keying, laughing, that they were losing their jobs. And like I said, these people are not aliens. They're not about to just beam themselves up and go into the sky. They're not the Anunnaki. Okay. These folks are going to be coming to the job market. They're going to be applying for jobs and competing with regular folks for the job market. So all of this is having a huge trickle-down effect.
And people are pushing people out of these nursing homes now. These are big corporations. This is not, you don't have just a Jack and Jill look around the corner. These people are corporations. They're looking at their bottom line. This is a business. A nursing home is a business. These are just not nice people coming to work to take care of your granny or to take care of you. Honey, when you vote, you got to know the information. Y'all been being lazy voters and people been trying to tell you, but you ain't listen. You got that FAFO.
So for all y'all said that the changes to the Medicaid program were only for the able-bodied people, we just got to get these people to work. You said it was not going to impact the disabled or the elderly. Yeah. I invite you to scroll your TikTok timeline today and see all the families that got notices that said that they have to get their parents and their elderly people and disabled people out the nursing home because the nursing home is no longer going to be accepting Medicaid. Now, you tell me what's going to happen to these people. There's already a shortage of beds when it comes to this population anyway. So where are they going to go? Home with the family?
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. First up, let's talk about AI color themes. You can get any combos you want, bold and bright, minimalist and sleek, or something you didn't even think of. Just describe the vibe you want, or even use the colors of your logo, and let AI do its thing. Beautiful. Next up is the AI section creator. This is great for those website essentials, like a contact section or a place to subscribe. Now, I'm running a sale, so I punch in some details, and just like that, I have a promo section. Functional and beautiful. I love it. Now, for the AI text creator, I got some.
Families aren't trained in this type of care. They can't afford to have nurses to come in. If they could, they wouldn't have their people in a nursing home, right? A process of elimination. No pun intended. Tell me what's going to happen to these people. Because your administration doesn't want Medicaid. And what's sad is that this is just a precursor to the impact of the big bad bill. Yeah. Y'all voted for that.
I took this comment off of somebody else's page because an RN said she got laid off, and someone put this in her comments. People don't understand healthcare, period. I've been in healthcare, health insurance for 17 years this year. My company I work for has already let us know they're going to have a layoff later this fall, and they will have one next year because of the big, beautiful bill. Medicaid keep the lights on. Medicare is what keeps the lights on a lot of different insurance companies and a lot of hospitals. Why y'all think a lot of hospitals in rural areas and stuff are closing down? Because Medicare and Medicaid keeps the lights on. And then I follow Kelsey, and Kelsey was saying that Anthem is not paying her bills. Anthem can't pay your bills for your autism center if they're not being paid by the government. It's a full cycle. It's a full circle. I've been in claims. I've been in quality. I've been on I've done it all, pills and grievance. I have been on every spectrum of health insurance. It's a full cycle. I've seen it all. I paid claims, denied claims, processed appeals and grievances, denied appeals and grievances, worked with Maximus, overturning stuff, worked in dental and vision, dealing with just Medicaid. Like, I've done it all. And when I say we're in for a rude awakening, and the crazy thing about it is Medicare and Medicaid have the most fraud too. So it's probably why they're cracking down on it, which I get. However, it's going to hurt a lot of different professions, nurses, health insurance companies. It's going to hurt all the way around. It's a full cycle moment. And I had read an article that says that Donald Trump is already 46% done with the Project 2025. And it has only been, 7 months? Just imagine what's going to happen in the next few months. We're fucked.
Y'all know that video I just made a while back about Trump's big, beautiful bill cutting the goddamn Medicaid benefits and food stamp benefits to the elderly and the kids. Yeah, we are all gonna fuck around and find out. Like I told y'all, it's gonna affect everyone. I just took my daughter to a dentist appointment this past week. I had to pay $150 out of my fucking pocket because I found out that my 3-year-old daughter's Medicaid is inactive and has been canceled. Why the fuck would you cancel my 3-year-old daughter's Medicaid?
If you can't afford $150 for your child to go get a dental situation, that's a problem. Ma'am, it was $150 for me to take out my wisdom tooth, and that's with my Medicaid. It was $150 for me to take my wisdom tooth out at 35 years old, and that was with my Medicaid. She's young. She's a young mother. This right here is a part of why a lot of these things are happening. This is what I get upset about. This is another show in itself. Can I do another show? I'm about to pop up and do another motherfucking show. Hold on. If I can, let me see.